The truck was still there, headlights on, driver's door wide open. His wallet was on the seat. His phone was untouched. The keys were still in the ignition, but the man who stepped out of that truck vanished without leaving a single footprint behind. And along the side of the vehicle were 3 deep claw marks cut straight through steel. Whatever stopped him that night was not human. Before we continue, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. This is Crime Hall. The story begins. Aaron Calder wasn't a drifter. He wasn't running from anything. And he wasn't the kind of man who disappeared without warning. He was born in Flagstaff, Arizona, in 1966, into a working-class family that valued routine and responsibility. His father worked for the railroad. His mother was a cafeteria supervisor at a local elementary school. Aaron had one sibling, his younger sister, Elena, 8 years his junior. After their parents divorced, Aaron became a second parent to her, driving her to school, helping with homework, and stepping into a role he never complained about. After high school, Aaron skipped college and went straight into auto repair. He had a natural talent for engines, especially older vehicles. By his early 30s, he was working at the same garage in Red Mesa, a small desert town near the Arizona-New Mexico border. He rented a modest house on the edge of town. He paid his bills on time. He avoided trouble. He had been dating Lydia Moore for nearly 4 years. Friends described their relationship as stable, even dull. No fighting, no drama, no secrets. Aaron had no criminal record, no debts, and no known enemies. Nothing about his life suggested it would end on the side of a highway. September 17th began like any other Tuesday. Aaron worked a full shift at the garage, fixing 2 pickup trucks and an old delivery van. Co-workers later said he joked about the heat and complained about a faulty alternator that refused to cooperate. At around 6:30 p.m., Aaron left work and drove south toward Winslow, where his sister Elena lived with her husband and 2 young children. They had dinner, talked about family, watched television. Elena would later tell police that her brother seemed relaxed, tired, but normal. No anxiety, no sense of urgency. Around 8:45 p.m., Aaron stood up, stretched, and said he should head home. Before leaving, he mentioned stopping at a roadside diner along Route 163. He hadn't eaten much and didn't feel like driving on an empty stomach. Elena offered that he stay the night. Aaron declined. "It's a straight road," he said. "I've driven it 1,000 times." Those were the last words she ever heard from him. At 9:58 p.m., Aaron called Elena from his cell phone. The call lasted just under a minute. He told her he had stopped at the Canyon Star Diner, about 35 miles north of Winslow. He'd had coffee and a sandwich and was already back on the road. "I'll be home in about 40 minutes, he said. Elena reminded him to call when he got home. Aaron laughed and said he would. The call ended. That phone was never used again. At 10:52 p.m., 2 Arizona Department of Public Safety officers, Officer Thomas Reed and Officer Kyle Moreno, were returning north after responding to a disabled vehicle. They spotted Aaron's truck near mile marker 71, headlights on, door open, no movement. At first, they assumed the driver had stepped away. Then they saw the marks behind the truck were deep drag grooves stretching nearly 20 feet before ending abruptly in untouched sand. No footprints continued beyond them. No tracks led away. Along the side of the truck were 3 long scratches, evenly spaced, angled downward, and carved deep enough to bend metal inward. Moreno ran his fingers along one of them and quietly said, "This wasn't done by a person." Inside the truck, everything Aaron would have needed was still there. His wallet sat on the seat. His phone lay beside it. His jacket was folded on the passenger side. Nothing had been taken. Nothing was overturned. It didn't look like a crime scene. It looked like a moment interrupted. By morning, the desert was full of people, state troopers, county deputies, search and rescue volunteers. They searched washes, canyons, dry riverbeds, and abandoned structures. Tracking dogs failed to follow a scent. They circled the truck, walked a short distance into the desert, then stopped, confused and agitated. A helicopter scanned the area from above. Visibility was perfect. Nothing. No body, no blood, no trace of Aaron Calder. Security footage from a gas station south of Red Mesa showed Aaron's truck passing at 10:19 p.m., driving normally. That left 33 minutes unaccounted for. 33 minutes, during which Aaron stopped, exited his vehicle, and vanished completely. No emergency calls, no text messages, no explanation. Investigators explored every possibility. Medical emergency? Unlikely. No trail, no signs of collapse. Robbery or kidnapping? No struggle, no witnesses, no missing property. Animal attack? No animal in the region could produce those marks. Forensic specialists concluded the scratches were made by something sharp, organic, and extremely strong. That conclusion only raised more questions. Locals began talking. Truck drivers avoided that stretch of road at night. Diners spoke in lowered voices. Some refused to discuss it at all. A Navajo elder, when asked about the area, simply said, "That road crosses old ground." When pressed further, he ended the conversation. Among Navajo and Hopi communities, stories have long circulated about shape-changing predators that roam desert highways at night, creatures that can move on four legs, or two, creatures that mimic animals, but aren't animals at all. They are sent to lure travelers into stopping, to create fear and confusion, to drag victims into the desert where no one follows. Most people refuse to speak their name. Search efforts ended after a month. Elena organized volunteer searches for years. Posters were printed, rewards offered. Nothing came of it. Aaron's girlfriend eventually moved away. His father died from heart failure 3 years later. His mother never accepted that her son was gone. She believed he was still alive somewhere in the desert. In 2014, 12 years after the disappearance, a long-haul truck driver named Raymond Ortega contacted authorities. He said that on the night Aaron disappeared, he passed an abandoned truck on Route 163. He almost stopped, but he didn't. Standing beside the truck was something he couldn't explain. A tall, thin shape, part animal, part human. Its eyes reflected green in his headlights. Ortega drove past without slowing down. He carried the memory for 12 years before finally speaking. Elena later discovered similar disappearances across Arizona and New Mexico. Empty cars, scratches, desert roads near reservations. Too similar to ignore. Aaron Calder was never found. No remains, no evidence, no answers, only a truck, 3 scratches, and a stretch of highway many people refuse to drive at night. Some disappearances fade with time. Others stay alive because they were never meant to be explained.